Good morning. Start the daily discussion. The first topic that we will take up today is the international relation topic for the Navy personnel sentenced to death in Qatar. So, 8 former Indian Navy personnel have been sentenced to death on charges of espionage by the Qatari court. Court in Qatar has sentenced 8 Indian who were ex-naval personnel working in Qatar to death sentence, and the defendants were charged with violating confidential information after their arrest in August 2022. Right? They were arrested last year in August on charges of espionage, and this espionage charge was leveled against them by the Qatari government. So the allegation was they were spying for Israel. Okay, and that is what the issue. Let's go to the detail. But the case background is at the time of their arrest in Qatar in 2022, the accused individuals were allegedly accused of violating sensitive secrets while working in Al Dahra in Doha. Okay, their employer, the Dahra Global Technology and Consultant Services, was also associated with the building of sophisticated Italian-built submarines that were renowned for their stealthiness. However, the Qatari authority have not released the exact charges against the 8 Indian nationals. Okay. So, a previous trial in March and June 2023, there are two trials for this case. Despite the fact that the detainees have been granted multiple opportunities for consular access, the case has remained under wrap for both Indian and Qatari authority. So, who have cited its sensitivity? Yes, reaction. India is investigating all available legal avenues to secure the release of its citizens who have been given death sentences, expressing profound shock and concern over the decision. The Minister of External Affairs has expressed how seriously this case is taken and reaffirmed its commitment to offering the detained people consular and legal support. Okay, that was the support given by Government of India, the people, the Indian people who have been arrested by the government in Qatar. Okay, India is investigating. India is investigating all available legal avenues to secure the release of citizens who have been given death sentences by the Qatari authority, expressing profound shock and concern over the decision. The Minister of External Affairs has expressed how seriously this case is taken and reaffirmed its commitment to offering the detained people consular and legal support. Government of India has expressed its commitment that it will offer all legal and consular support to the people, but so the case became so strong by the Qatari point of view that it will be too difficult for the people to get released. Okay, so this is the Indian response. What effect does this case have on diplomacy? The ruling may put pressure on ties between Qatar and India. A large influx of Indian migrants supports diplomatic and economic exchanges. The Indian government is under pressure to take immediate action to save the life of the detainee because there are more than 7 lakh Indians living in Qatar. So, as far as this Gulf country is concerned, a large number of Indian people are living over there. So, more than 7 lakh Indians are working and living in Qatar, and this particular case will have its impact on the bilateral relationship as well as the life and living of these Indians who are living in Qatar. Their contributions are being made to various sectors in Qatar. Indians are held in great regard for their integrity, their diligence, technical know-how, and adherence to law. That means in Qatar, the Indians are very respected because they have a high sense of integrity, honesty, diligence, technical know-how, and adherence to law. Means the law of the land. It's the Qatari law. It is estimated that the Indian expat community in Qatar sends $750 million in remittance to India annually. So there are so many Indians who are in India. Okay, so that is why their contribution is around $750 million per annum that comes in the form of remittance. Okay, so which is, and remittance play a very important role in Indian economy because India is the largest remittance receiving country in the world. Okay, so India being the largest remittance receiving country, so this is what the $750 million coming from Qatar also constitute a very important part in India's relation as well as economic development of the country. So this issue cannot be overlooked by India. Fine. So though generally stable, the relationship between Qatar and India is experiencing its first major crisis in this particular case because earlier the two sides have very close relationship, and for the first time this issue okay. So this relationship, though generally stable, the relationship between the Qatar and India is experiencing its first major crisis in this particular case. Okay, so high level meeting have been taken place between the two countries in 2016, and Indian Prime Minister visited Doha and met the Emir of Qatar. Liquefied natural gas from Qatar is a major supplier to India, making up a sizable amount of their import because India imports a huge amount of liquefied natural gas from Qatar. What alternative does India have to stop this naval personnel? Okay, to stop their death sentence. Diplomatic option: try to resolve the issue. India could hold direct diplomatic talk with the government of Qatar. Diplomatic leverage can be very useful given the strategic and economic of the relationship between the two nations. In order to stop the death penalty from being applied, the government may also employ diplomatic pressure on Qatar. So it's good, it's friendly relations with other countries with whom India has good relations like Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. We can, through Saudi Arabia and UAE, we can convince and put pressure on Qatar. Among the options being considered are appealing the decisions or utilizing the 2015 agreement in Qatar and India for the transfer of convicted criminals to serve out the remainder of the sentence in their native country. That means, for the agreement, it has been signed in 2015 that in case of any sentence to any Indian or in Qatari people, they will be repatriated back to the country of origin for their trial, for their getting this punishment in their own country. The issue can be brought to globally by the NGOs and civil society, and the UN can put pressure on United Nations. Okay, legal choices. The first step is to file an appeal with the Qatari legal system. The death penalty recipients are able to appeal their sentence through the Qatari legal system. India is able to give the prisoners legal counsel and make sure that their right to appeal is vigorously upheld. India may claim jurisdictions of the International Court of Justice if proper procedures are not followed or if there is no appeal processes. If the Qatari government don't allow appeal process, Government of India may appeal to the International Court of Justice on issue, like the issue with Pakistan court. Okay, so similarly, so in this case also Government of India can go for the International Court of Justice. Fine. The International Court of Justice functions as a global court with dual jurisdiction, meaning that it can hear cases involving contentious disputes between states and request for advisory opinions on legal matters referred to it by specialized agency and the United Nations bodies. Which case did India participate at the ICJ? Right of passage over Indian territory, Portugal versus India, finalized in 2016. The Kulbhushan Jadhav case, India versus Pakistan, where India get the judgment in its favor. Appeal concerning the ICAO Council's jurisdiction, India versus Pakistan, finalized in 1972. Pakistan versus India, Pakistani Business War issue of 1973. In August 1999, aerial incident Pakistan versus India, culminated in 2000. Liabilities regarding the nuclear arms race cessation and nuclear disarmament negotiations, Marshall Island versus India, finalized in 2016. All these cases, in these particular cases, India brought the matter before the International Court of Justice, paid the judgment in the case, and similarly, India in this particular case may drag the Qatari government to the International Court of Justice to give justice to the Indian naval personnel arrested by Qatar and sentenced to capital punishment. Okay. So, way forward, the road ahead is probably going to be difficult and might take patience and perseverance. While negotiating the difficulties of international diplomacy and the legal system in Qatar, India must never waver in its commitment to the welfare and legal rights of its citizens. A combination of international operation and legal action and diplomatic efforts may be necessary for a successful resolution. Next is the economy topic. World must fight inequality to safeguard ideals of democracy. Why in news? Our political and economic system have changed due to the quick development of digital technology, unrestrained globalization, and growing inequality, which has stopped socio-political unrest. Evidence of growing inequality: between 1820 and 1910, there was a steady increase in economic inequality worldwide. It has changed since then, and any estimate is contingent upon the particular techniques and metrics employed by the researchers. The richest 1% of the world population gaining 38% of the increased global wealth between 1995 and 2021, compared to just 2% for the bottom 50%. So top 1% get 38% and bottom 50% get only 2%. The data unequivocally demonstrate that economic disparity have reached intolerable levels. There is no denying that wealth is becoming more concentrated. Global wealth increased by 3.2% per year between 1995 and 2011 to 2021. The oldest 0.000001% saw 9.3% increase of year per year in wealth over the same time period. That means the rich become richer the world. The Indian situation in the context of a stark income disparity made worse by COVID pandemic, the number of Indian billionaires increased from 102 to 142 according to the Oxfam report. So Indian billionaires, there is 40 number of billionaires added in India, an increase of 39% in India's billionaire population by 2021. According to the report, India has more billionaires than the combined number of France, Sweden and Switzerland, and ranks third in the world, just behind China and the United States. The combined wealth of the top 100 richest individuals in India reached a record-breaking rupees 57.3 lakh crore, roughly $775 billion in 2021 alone. Just 6% of the nation's wealth went to the poorest 50% of the population. So slightly better in comparison to the world scenario. So 50% of the Indian only own 6% of the nation's wealth, whereas in case of the top 1%, there is a big ownership. Economic disparity poses a threat to democracy. Then about it is a common overlook the political ramification of the current economic inequality. Excessive wealth concentration threatens democracy in the modern era of globalized commerce and digital connectivity in two main ways. The erosion of global democracy by globalization. Rich and powerful nations can now influence the welfare of people far beyond their borders thanks to the globalization of supply chain and finance. Although Burkina Faso citizens are not allowed to vote in USA presidential election, the decision made by US president have an equal impact on their daily lives as those made by the own leaders. This is how the world became interconnected. Developing nations, however, limited in their ability to oppose this hegemony because United States will not allow the entire world to participate in its presidential election. Right. Wealth concentration. The concentration of wealth is a small number of hands is opposed to democracy since extreme wealth is frequently linked to political power. This is especially true in the big tech era where billionaires can control major media outlet or sway search engine results to exert an excessive amount of influence over public opinion. It is hoped that developments in the generative AI will help reduce inequality by level playing the playing fields in the technology industry. That is being counted as a possibility, but it is also doubtful. Appropriate measures to lessen inequality, inadequately planned initiatives to promote economic parity may have unfavorable efforts. There are many examples in history of well-intentioned but poorly designed policy that attempted to lower inequality only to backfire and unintentionally support the myth that government intervention is always bad. The policies aimed at decreasing economic inequality are defined by fusing good intentions with careful planning. They can produce substantial results. Adding the concept of relative wealth, we also need to acknowledge that once a certain point is reached, relative rather than absolute inequality become more important to everyone, with the wealthiest. Thus, as long as the wealthy preserve their relative status, we can impose large taxes on them without diminishing their incentives. Put another way, billionaires will continue to be driven to raise their income as long as they comprehend that such taxes will not affect their standing among the world's wealthiest people, and the rest of us will benefit from their labors. Fine. So labor will get their wage, and the billionaires will go on increasing its own asset and value or its wealth by using the labor of the deprived classes. Okay. So put another way, billionaires will continue to be driven to raise their income as long as they comprehend that such taxes will not affect their standing among the world's wealthiest people, and the rest of us will benefit from their labors. Fine. So imagining an universal basic income. A basic income is a sum of money that is given to every citizen on an individual basis without conditions attached to work or means of testing. It is a type of guaranteed minimum income that is paid regardless of any additional income. The universal basic income is a policy restitution taken to its most extreme, places everyone on the state payroll. That means the country or the government of the state make payment to everyone irrespective of each work. So this is called the universal basic income. So everyone should be getting some income irrespective of whether eligible to work or whether he is working or not. So this will definitely affect the vulnerable sections of the society. Multiple prong approach. Close the economic divide among its population, the government must decide on policy measures. This entitles expanding employment prospects, boosting incomes, and granting access to improved healthcare and educational opportunities. Encouraging women to participate in the workforce and improving farm prospects can also have a big impact. Another useful financial tool in the fight against inequality is gender budgeting. That means making special financial allocation for the weaker gender. That means the weaker sections of the society who are the women. So in that case, if we make gender budgeting, it will be much useful. That is why it is also being discussed right now. So another useful tool in the fight against inequality is to try for gender budgeting. Way forward, India is no longer a nation primarily made in extreme poverty. This nation has vulnerable populations, area of extreme poverty and widespread inequality. India is essential to achieving the sustainable development goal by 2030 behalf of the entire world. Fine. So okay. So it is possible to establish economy wherein no experience poverty and unimaginable wealth, one where inequality access ceases to be the deadly threat. Then next topic is art and culture. During his visit to Gujarat, the Prime Minister will pray at the well-known Ambaji temple in the Bankastak. A location Gujarat, India's Ambaji Time frame the 8th century AD. Administration and temple trust is in charge of the temple's administrative operation. One of the main Shakti Pitha in Hinduism is the Sri Ambaji Mata Temple, Temple Kalika Mata. Ambaji, an incarnation of Amba Mataji, is honored in this temple. Out of the 42 Shakti Pitha, it is most renowned for its joyful ceremonies and pujas held in honor of festivals like Navaratri and Diwali. When you consider the revered Sri Bhishajantra, which is housed in this main temple complex, a symbol of divine grace and power. The whole of Ambaji town is surrounded by many temples near Ambaji temple and pilgrim spots, attracting thousands of tourists from around the country and even overseas annually. Sports. So, Indian para athletes have received praise from Prime Minister Narendra Modi for their remarkable performance at the Asian Para Games in 2023. Regarding the 2023 Asian Para Games, so October 22nd to 28, 2023, location Hangzhou in China. The 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta, Indonesia, were the most recent event. India sent the biggest delegation it has ever sent to the Asian Para Games in their 4th edition. There are 303 competitors total, 112 women and 191 men from India. So compared to the 190 athletes India sent to the 2018 Para Games, where they had their best performance and won 72 medals including sports, a significant increase association of Indian Olympiad. India won 111 medals in total during the Asian Para Games. There are 29 golds and 31 silver and 51 bronze. The Asian Para Rich Hall is also a hat trick to the parents, coach and administrators who spotted and nurtured the sporting passions in the hearts and minds of children with physical disability. The Paralympic is the Para Asian is a game for the physically challenged persons in the continent. So this is the issue. Then environment ecology topic. The next one, the air quality in Delhi continued to be hazardous. The overall air quality index in the city stood at 322 recently. What about this air quality index? Government organization use the air quality index to calculate air pollution level, notify the public of them. So the air quality index is divided into 6 categories: very poor, severe, good, satisfactory, and moderately polluted. Health breakpoints or ambient concentration value of air pollutants are used to determine the likely health effects of each of these categories. 8 pollutants: the PM10, PM2.5, NO2, SO2, CO, O3, NH3 and the PP, for which short-term up to 24 hours national ambient air quality standards are prescribed, have evolved AQs of indices and health breakpoints. A significant portion of the populace will suffer from serious adverse health effects as the AQI rises. For the purpose of measuring the AQI, an air monitor and air concentration of pollutants over a given period of time averaged. Range are used to group the results. A standardized public health advisory, a color code and a descriptor are assigned to each range. In India, as in most Asian countries, there are many different and poorly understood sources of pollution. For instance, the main source of pollution in Delhi are the traffic of light and heavy duty vehicles, road dust and burning of solid fuels for cooking and heating, biomass waste burning, thermal power plants, diesel generators, constructions and small scale local industry. Delhi's air pollution problem. pollutant concentration average over a specific time period. The results are grouped using ranges. Each range is given a color code, a descriptor, and a standard public health advisory. Coming to the air quality index, so good is the air quality is safe and poses no health risk to anyone. Unhealthy, the air quality is fine. However, sensitive people are prone to health risk. To monitor, okay. Then to monitor, people are prone to health risk due to minor pollutants present in the air. Then poor people who are sensitive to air pollution are at the high risk. Air quality is safe for healthy and fit people. Severe, fit and healthy people will catch hold of infection, and due to many harmful air pollution present in the air, the it is sensitive people are exposed to severe health risk. Then dangerous, the contaminated air threatens everyone with various health issues. Then hazardous, high alert emergency. This level of air quality is a serious threat to life, both for sensitive and healthy people. It can severely affect health or even lead to death. Okay. So, for instance, the main source of pollution in Delhi are traffic of the light and heavy duty vehicles, road dust, burning of solid fuel for cooking and heating, biomass, waste burning, thermal power plants, diesel generators, construction, small scale local industry, and this is the Delhi air pollution problem. Pollutant concentration average over a specified time period. The results are grouped using ranges. Each range is given a color code, a descriptor, and a standard public health advisory. Like the majority of Asian nations, pollution in India come from a wide variety of poorly understood sources. For example, the traffic of light and heavy duty vehicles, road dust, burning of solid fuel for cooking and heating, burning of biomass, thermal power plants, diesel generators, construction and small scale industry are the main source of pollution. Okay. Then coming to the governance, the Amrit Kalash Jatra, which is the culmination of the Meri Matti Meri Desh campaign, marked by a program at the Kartavya Path of Prime Minister Narendra Modi will take part. Regarding the campaign Meri Matti Meri Desh from September 1st to October 31st, 2023, the Amrit Kalash Jatra. In celebration of 75 years of Indian independence, the Indian government has launched the Meri Matti Meri Desh campaign at the grand finale of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. As part of this campaign, soil gathered in August from various locations across the nation utilized to create a garden alongside Delhi's Kartavya Path. The mitti colors are to be transported to the Kartavya Path ceremoniously brought to the larger municipalities corporation. The purpose of this project is to honor and remember the martyrs' sacrifice. It comprises those who gave their life while performing their duty, such as freedom fighters, defense workers, and members of the state police and central armed police forces, who have done supreme sacrifice for the cause of the country. Okay. So the 5 point schedule, the Sila Pakalam installation, name of those who gave their life in defense of the country will be inscribed on memorials that will be built. Pledges of commitment at the memorial site, individual will make a serious pledge. Then the Basudha Bandhan, each village or Gram Panchayat will take part in this initiative by planting 75 native species samplings. Then Biro Ka Bandhan, family of the fallen freedom fighters will receive honors and congratulations. Hosting of the flag, national anthem will be played in unison and the flag is proudly raised. This is the stage, this is the schedule of the program. The next topic is topic on science and technology for the preliminary. So airlines dark pattern cell dim cybercrime. Concerned about cybercrime may arise from the Ministry of Civil Aviation's focus on controversial practices that found to be dark patterns in online travel agency and airlines. This has resulted in the substantial source of grievances promoting government intervention. The government has specifically demanded that big airlines Indigo addresses misleading online policies for seat selections and extra costs. Websites and apps that employ manipulative design techniques are known as dark patterns. They are designed to deceive or coerce users into actions they may not want to take. This can take the form of unstated cost, deceptive buttons, or perplexing design, all designed to persuade users to take action that are in the best interest of the business rather than themselves. Then the next is the penny drop verification requirement for HELPLINE by the Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority. In order to guarantee timely fund transfer using withdrawals, the Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority has mandated penny drop verification for National Pension System (NPS) subscribers. In order to verify that a saving bank account is active, Central Record Keeping Agency cross reference the account's name to the subscriber permanent retirement account number (PRAN) to provide documentation. Okay, so successful verification includes name matching, essential for handling withdrawal and exit requests, as well as changing subscriber bank account information. Any such requests are prohibited by the penny drop verification failure. Leads to the CRA to work with nodal offices to correct. Okay. So, answer writing, in recent times there has been a growing trend towards the use of electric vehicles. What obstacles are currently present in the Indian market? What measures have the Indian government implemented to address them? Environmental concern and technological advancement are the driving force behind the global phenomenon of the surge in the adoption of electric vehicles or EV. This is a common trend in India. By 2030, the Indian government wants to see 30% of the Indian automobiles electrified. Nonetheless, a number of challenges confronting the Indian EV market prevent it from expanding quickly, necessitating deliberate government action. The Indian EV market barriers high initial cost because batteries are more expensive than regular cars. Electric vehicles typically have higher upfront cost. This dissuades Indian customers who are price conscious. Insufficient infrastructure for charging present at noteworthy obstacles. People who worry about running out of power without a nearby charging point experience range anxiety. Battery technology, there is room for improvement in the longevity, charging speed, and the range of EV batteries. Supply chain, specialized minerals and rare earth elements are needed for the production of the lithium-ion battery, which are an essential part of electric vehicle. India currently faces supply chain difficulty as a result of this. Its very reliance on Chinese imports for the production of this battery. Government action, the FAME scheme, it is an effort to lower the initial cost of consumers. The government has put in place the FAME scheme to offer incentive for adoption of the electric and hybrid vehicles. Infrastructure for charging, initiatives of the Go Electric and charging infrastructure for electric vehicles have been introduced to support and encourage states to build public charging stations. The Switch Delhi campaign of the Delhi government intends to install 100 charging stations throughout the city. However, more such initiatives are required. The GST reduction, EV are now more affordable thanks to 5% goods and service tax reduction from 12 to 5%. The production of electric vehicles and their components is encouraged by the production link incentive program given to the manufacturers. So, realizing how crucial sustainable transportation is to the future of our country, Indian government is moving to remove barriers in the EV market. India is moving towards a cleaner, more sustainable transportation sector by addressing cost issues, enhancing infrastructure, and fostering research and development. These actions will help India meet its nationally determined contribution for climate action. Then coming to the MCQs, so the region Rafah crossing, okay, offensive is news is in Palestine. It has come to news because of the recent Israel-Hamas conflict. Reference to Jagannath temple to the following statement: it is built in the Kalinga online class. Reference to the Jagannath temple, consider the following statement: it is built in the Kalinga style of architecture on an elevated platform. Correct. It was built during the reign of Eastern Ganga dynasty. Both are correct here. So consider the following statement regarding Santiniketan, founded by Debendranath Tagore, is located in West Bengal. Okay, so it is not an UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The architecture and design of Santiniketan's building are inspired by the local tribal structure, reflecting an environmentally conscious approach. Only one is right. The concept of fallback liability sometimes related to the e-commerce rules. Okay, see. The consider the following region: Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, India, Kazakhstan. How many of these countries are participant to the Kyrgyzstan, India? Only two. It is Kyrgyzstan and India. So, sorry, Kazakhstan and India. KZ for Kazakhstan and India for India. So, Kaz in 2023 between two countries, Kazakhstan and India. So, only two are involved. B. So, the following statement about the International Court of Justice: settle dispute between member states only. That is wrong. It gives binding decisions on legal issues. One is correct, but two is wrong. It's a decision are not binding, so only one is correct. Only option means only one is correct. That is one, because two is wrong, because decisions are not binding. That's the following statement about the Van Allen belt. The belt lies between the mesosphere and the stratosphere. Particles coming from solar winds and cosmic ray contribute in the formation of this belt, right? The layer of energetic charged particles held around Earth due to Earth's gravitational field. So two are correct here. Which of the following countries are covered by the Congo Basin? Congo Basin covers Cameroon, Central African Republic, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon. This is the right answer. Then consider the following statement: monitoring nuclear proliferation, astrophysics research, direct imaging, geological study. How many of these areas mentioned above does the nutrient find applications? It find application in 3. So, okay, geological study do not find it. The context of immigration, the term visa shopping refers to that obtaining visa for country that an individual may or may not visit during the granted visa period. Reference to the Pradhan Mantri Matru Bandhan Yojana, as the following statement: it aims to provide full compensation for the wage loss in terms of cash incentive, so that the women can take adequate rest before and after delivery of the first child. That is not the issue. Ministry of Women Child Development is the nodal agency, right? The benefit under the Pradhan Mantri Matru Bandhan Yojana is to provide to the women for the first two child, provided the second child is a girl child. So only 2 and 3 are correct.